And in every moment, you are called upon to decide what to do with these two influences. So there's three forms of creative influence: your past, God, yourself. Which one is responsible for evil? It is a contextual situation that influences you to evil. Plus, the horrible perplexity that what seems good to one can be horrible evil to another. We have a God who works with us in our context. And we say, by faith, and happily by a model, that God's influence is always toward inclusive well-being. God's influence is toward the well-being of the widest possible community. Take it for granted, but I want you to think too about the work of God in this world. God works through us to accomplish the well-being of the world. And your own experiences of impulses toward the good, guess what? You may not have thought it up yourself out of the blue. God works with every one of you, regardless of your theological stance. So I say in my arrogance, God works with you toward the good. No. God's influence comes to us at the base of our experience, deeper than our thought, deeper than our unconscious. And you respond to it one way or another. And that response of doing what good is yet possible is the redemptive work of God in this world. Now, it's also the redemptive work of the people who go and do those things. Because everybody has the capability of saying, thanks, but not me, somebody else can do it. And to the extent that we deny participating in the good, we then become necessarily participations in the continuing evil effects of that which has been so tragic. But insofar as we respond, we then become co-workers with God and God's instruments, partners in working yet toward what forms of transformation are possible. And it's out of the horror of, at that time, incredible tragedy, which was, as you well know, the Holocaust. I have been so moved by Viktor Frankl, a Jewish psychologist who lost everything, those he loved, his work, everything in the Holocaust. And yet out of this experience wrote this incredible gem called Man's Search for Meaning. That through this horrible fire, there was a refinement of sheerest gold. Is it good that there was a Holocaust so that we could get that book? No, it wasn't good. But no Holocaust can stop the transforming power of God. And it will come sometimes in dramatic ways and more often in tiny ways, but it is the work of God in and through us. William Blake said it a long time ago, God has no hands but ours. And one of the reasons why process has been so important to me is because process gave me a way to conceptualize an alternative. And for me, it wasn't enough to say, oh, it's all right, they go to heaven. That wasn't enough. I had to think into it. You know, sometimes you're damned to think. That's what Fred Sontag told me one time. Faith seeking understanding. For me, I just needed a way to conceptualize it. And here's what process provided for me.